So, yeah, I've a few listeners that email me now and again, and I had one such person who's, I wouldn't say a regular emailer, but we went back and forth a bit. I'm not naming any names, but we went back and forth a bit, and he'll know who I'm talking about. Well, now you know it's a he, huh? Well, he'll know who I'm talking about when I talk about what I'm going to talk about here, because it was the video that was forwarded to me by himself that sort of is one of the things that I do always try highlight to you about these people in power. Like, everything has to be like pinpoint and scripted. Of course, they have to do it like that because that's how they keep all this shit show going, you know. They've generations and generations of practicing how to manipulate us. You know, that they do it subtly, but it's the subtle ones that are the most powerful ones, right? It's the subtle ones that are the most powerful ones. And there's a video by McEntee from about 10 months ago where people might say, you know, she was put under pressure, so she had to go up there and explain everything. When in reality, that's not the case. See, the powers that be, see that as an opportunity to brainwash us, or at least attempt to brainwash us even further, or play mind games with us even further. And that's what McEntee done in this video. I'm doing this one to tell you about it, in the hopes that when I do a voiceover of it later, because I have the video now, and I do a voiceover later, that you just watch it. So I'm trying to get you like interested in watching it, and then actually it's a good way of preparing you in the sense of things to look out for, you know. Now, it's it's a video by Tracy Mahoney. Some people have questions about her as well, but it's a video by herself, and she's showing you the breakdown of like even the clothes that McEntee is wearing, you know, but mostly the words around it. You know, the clothes are one thing. Like, let's look at different things where the clothes come into play. Just look at Zelensky. They always have him in this, like, he's ready to just put on an army vest and go to war, don't they? That's for a reason. That's to give you that illusion that he's leading the army over there. But anyway, she talks about Helen's dress. And it was weird because, remember, only the other day I did a video, or I think it was on my live, that I had to get rid of, by the way. I know a couple of people were like, oh, where's that live gone? I missed it, blah, blah, blah. I left it up for like 2-3 hours and then took it down because I started talking about the great whooping cough of 2020, you know, and YouTube's still really sensitive around that. Like, of course, they still have to protect it as much as possible, you know, because it's fucking killing people. Anyway, so yeah, she addresses the clothes that she's in first, right? And she's in, like, it's not her usual real, like, plain looking outfits or anything like that. It's none of that. She's in like bright, vibrant stuff. And I've mentioned she has a little bit of yellow in her top, and I mentioned, yep, they use yellow. Yellow is a colour that they use all the time because it's meant to, like, colours have effect on us when we look at them as well, you know. Hell, even some, like, that's another story, but I was going to go off there on one, how even it helps, like, partially blind people, like how they're helping them see with colours. Anyway, there's a point in that I would like to make, but I'd go on for ages. But they purposely use certain colours, like yellow, because it's, you know, sorry if it's windy, yellow because it's nice, it's meant to calm you down, you know. Yellow calms you down. In some way or shape or form, it's known to have that effect on people. And then she's wearing peach and something else. Peach is meant to be, like, you know, welcoming or something to that effect. But it's just to highlight what lengths that they go to you know, keep all this thing going. They even wear certain clothes as part of their manipulation. Isn't it crazy when you think of it like that? Like, not only are they spending billions and billions and billions to keep everyone fucking numb to reality, but they also, even down to the clothes they wear, is a form of manipulation. So it's not just all words with them. Even though that word spin game, should I say, even though they think it's on fire, like, even though they think it's amazing and you can't come back against it type of thing, we can, because we can just point out that you're saying this thing, but in reality, look what's happening on the streets, you know. That's why I would love more people to keep sharing more of them incidents. And it's horrible that it's happening to Irish people, I know, but I'm nearly sure only like quarter of these reports or attacks are being, even less, are being reported, you know. Got to lose that little, oh no, well, Mick and Mary, you know, I know you are sick of me saying it, but there are still people, unfortunately, that are afraid of what their neighbour will think if they say, did you see that Nigerian fella attack the Irish girl? You know, they won't have conversations like that because they still think that their neighbours are going to look down on them. When in reality, that other neighbour that they were going to talk to is probably thinking the same thing, but in the same position where they're afraid to speak up in case what the opposite neighbour thinks of them. Isn't it weird? Once again, it's part of that psychological warfare. All of this is tying into psychological warfare, as far as I can say. I know you're probably sick of me talking about it because it's new to me, and I'm kind of finding all these coincidences, which I don't believe in, but I'm finding them, you know. How, for instance, when you look up the definition of cognitive warfare, which has been going since the 50s, they used to call it psychological warfare, like the CIA and MK Ultra and all that stuff. They used to call it psychological warfare, but now it's cognitive warfare, because they figured out that if they launch a cognitive war, it means they never have to fire a bullet, you see. Whereas if you call it psychological, people be going, they're doing psychological tests on us, let's fucking kick off more, you know, let's kick off our CIA, or these guys who are meant to be protecting us are running psychological games on us, let's fucking get them, you know. So the cognitive one they can do, and they don't even have to fire a bullet, because it's the actual individual's mind that they're attacking, you know. They're constantly sending conflicting messages to them. Like how this is a conflicting message when McEntee gets up there looking all well dressed, like she's gone to a tea party or something, and she's talking about how the Ireland is doing this thanks to the EU, all this blah 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 blah. But then what she's ignoring, we all know what she's ignoring, you know. So there are words, but then where's the actions? The actions are non-existent. It's like, to quote McGregor, the Irish government is zero accountability, you know, zero accountability. They really don't give a fuck what happens to us. They're trying to replace us, like, they're trying to replace us all, you know. That's what gets me. That's what I can't understand why more people aren't a little bit upset by that, you know. And then you go around, you could be thinking now, well, maybe that's part of their maybe that's part of their cognitive warfare as well, you know. Maybe they have you out there talking about it because not enough people are listening, and they want more people paying attention to it, you know. I do often think of that. I do often think about all these posts that I put up and what effect that's going to have. I often think about that, trust me. And I know most of them are, well, 98% of them, you might look at them and go, it's slightly negative in the sense that, you know, there's nothing positive in it. Because there is nothing positive in it. What have we got that's positive for Ireland going forward? More mass migration of unvetted rapists and murderers from Africa and the Middle East, you know. So, yeah, keep an eye out on the page. I'll put that up just out getting a coffee, so I'll put that up and me spicy chicken for the roll. But I'll put that video up in the next 2 hours, right?